Well, hi once again as we talk about dating. And today the topic is dating equals change. And change is important. I guess most of you know when you got married, there was a lot of changes that took place, and change never stops. I remember the late Pastor Ed Raybert from Hatfield Church had a notice in his office: change is here to stay. So dating equals change. What change are we talking about? Well, if we'll be very honest with ourselves, and I trust we will be, it's sometimes a bit of a hassle to prioritize spending time together, just husband and wife, and for many reasons. We get so involved in our world, we get into a rut, we rush to work, we come home, pick up kids, have supper, get busy with stuff, have things to do, and we get into the rut, and we just don't see that we can make time to date. And then also it's a bit of a hassle because, wow, it's been so long since last we actually had a date and spent time together that, do we think it's necessary? Must I make the effort? Must I make the time? And I said to you today, I'm going to give you work to do. So I am going to give you. And you start feeling awkward about having to arrange a date night or a time to date. And then often it's just there's this excuse. There's just so much to do. I've got so much to do. We'll never get everything done, and I'm totally exhausted. And I'm sure you've said that. Well, I've got news for you. A date will refresh you. A date will bring refreshing to you and bless you and make a good change in you. And of course, we've got 1,000 other reasons why it's sometimes a hassle just to have a date night. But if you examine your marriage right now, I want to ask you a question. Is it 100%? Would you like it better? Would you like improvements? Would you like better quality communication and togetherness and understanding each other's hearts to make marriage much better? Well, I'm sure you would. Well, I'm going to give you a couple of points this morning, which I trust you will work at. And it does take work, let me tell you. But it's work that produces fantastic results, great results, and you'll only be blessed by it. Number one, work on your attitude towards dating and get it in a positive mood or mode. And I mean this, work at your attitude towards dating. Because of the excuses I've given before, and because there's so much to do, and we're living in a rut and we think we're fine, I find most people that just live in a rut are actually not happy and not fine. And you need something to break that and break the monotony of that. And but it's your attitude that you need to change. Sorry, your attitude you need to work on. And men, forgive me for just sort of putting the hammer on the nail here with us men. And I'm generalizing, please. I'm not saying all men are like this, but men can be a little bit impatient in getting things done and organized. And you have a date and you sit down and, well, what do you want to eat? And then you think, okay, now I've got to talk and ask these questions. And then men like to get into their food. And the wife is wanting to talk and relax and spend time with you. And then next thing you're asking for the bill. Okay, we must go home now. Time is tight. And your wife thinks, whoa, I was just enjoying this. And you go home and then suddenly men have got time to do 1,000 other things. They go tinker on the car, or they fix something in the house, or they go play their musical instrument, or whatever the case might be. And I think that could only infuriate your wife. Ouch. Okay. I would say be careful of doing that. Men, you are treading on thin ice if you do. Number two is work. And I mean, this is work. This is a change from the lifestyle we live today. Work on giving everything you have in making this an evening or a night out or a date where you can relax You need to learn to relax. I would say one good thing, and it's a habit, and I watch people when I go out or watch people eat in the shop, they're either checking their watch out every like 2 minutes, or they're on their phone checking their times and what's happening. And that's mission impossible for some people. They can't resist looking at their watch or resist that phone. And as I said previously, switch your phones off. You're not going to die if your phones are off for a couple of hours. And then focus on each other. And if you want to relax, one of the best forms of relaxing is to share something about yourselves or about an incident that happened where you can have a good laugh. The Word of God says laughter is the best medicine, and a merry heart is medicine to the bones. And a lot of us need a bit of medicine to our bones and to make us better and enrich lives. So I would say focus on each other. Relax when you go. Don't be intense. You go on, and I'm just using going out for dinner as an example. I'm not saying that's the only thing you must do, but these are things you're going to have to work at. If you're going out for dinner, don't sit down and, okay, what shall we order? Have you decided what you want yet? Talk, relax. The restaurant's not going to disappear. The waiter's there to serve you. They won't run out of food, hopefully. And talk and relax and unwind first. Learning to relax is a huge change for many of us. And it means you're not all intense. You're not sitting there, what am I going to say next? What should we do next? I actually think we should be doing this. No, chill. A lot of us need to just learn to chill. And especially in the times we're living in. Take a deep breath, have a laugh, chill out. You know what? It's going to do you the world of good. And be careful of your body language. Your body language says 1,000 words to your spouse. If you're sitting there and, okay, well what do we eat and where do we go? And we better be back by 8 for the kids. Hey, you know what? Go take a cold shower or something. But get rid of being so intense. You have to work at making it a priority that on your date night, time isn't an issue, interruptions shouldn't happen, whatever's happening outside there in the world and in your world will still carry on after you've had your date night. And I really believe you need to work hard at changing your attitude when you go out and learn to relax. Your body language says 1,000 words. Your wife can be talking to you and all of a sudden you're leaning forward and looking at your watch or you're sitting like this intensely. Man, it's just barriers to breaking through and having a good time of communicating and laughing and relaxing and enjoying one another, which you really need to do. And the one thing I'd say is, this is also something that has changed, have good eye contact. Have you ever watched people in a restaurant or coffee shop, or maybe you do the same? And I know I can be very guilty of this. So this is something where I've got to discipline myself. Is if Tish and I went out on a date or we went out just for tea or did something, I love watching people and seeing what happens with people. So my eye would be looking there and then looking there. And that would just infuriate her to say, hello, are we here? And focus on her and let your eyes show. You know, when you relax and when you're not intense and you take a breath and you start laughing and enjoying, actually you see the change in a person's eyes. You see the warmth, you see they relaxed, you feel you can communicate with them and talk with them. So I just want to give you a couple of tips in this change and this work you've got to do on yourself that will help. And what I suggest is not necessarily a date night. Every now and again, doesn't have to be often. Just say to your wife, you know what, dinner's going to be ready just now. We can leave dinner for 15 minutes. Come, let's just go walk around the neighborhood. Let's just take a walk in the street, and hold hands and take a slow walk. It's not an exercise walk. It's not running a marathon. You are taking a stroll, holding each other's hands, looking at the trees, the gardens, talking, having a laugh, reminiscing about some great time you had, just thinking back on some great time. And then something that I found was really relaxing, really drew us together. I love clouds, and especially sunset with clouds. And sometimes here we see a magnificent sunset over the mountain. And I just say to this, come quickly, stop what you're doing. And when I first started doing it, she'd say, what's wrong? I'd say nothing, just come and go outside and hold hands. Say, look at what God's created. Look at that picture He's painted for us to enjoy. Beautiful sunset, magnificent sunset, filtering through clouds, and you just relax. It actually is therapy. And if you're both standing there together and you're holding hands, or you've got your arms around each other and you're looking at it, wow, there's just a sense of peace and relaxation. And you know, when you do that every now and again, or maybe there's a full moon, and Tish used to often do that to me. Hey, lambs, come look at the full moon tonight. We go outside and we look at the full moon, talk about God's creation and the stars, and you just relax and unwind. And doing little exercises like that brings an instant, if I can say, breath of fresh air into your life and into your relationships. And it helps you learn to relax. And maybe before I'm using again a date going out to a restaurant, please, that does not have to be your date. But you know, when you park the car, don't rush up to the walk around. I know Tish used to love to do a bit of window shopping. I hate window shopping. I hate shopping. I hate going to shops. But hold hands and we stroll around and have a look at the shops and windows and just clutch out. And then we go on our date. So I hope you're going to be taking a deep breath and taking some advice from this, because it really works. And it does bring peace and joy into you. And if ever we needed that, it is right now. And in the days we're living in, with all the pressure and all the uncertainties and that, make sure your marriage is blessed. And make sure your marriage experiences that peace, and you can relax and enjoy one another, and your attitude is right towards your dating. And you will see how blessed you are. And it will spill over into your family. It will spill over into your children. And they'll just sense that relaxation and that fun and that contentment. And it really brushes over to them. So I'm not the expert on dating and marriage, but these are things I've just learned and I want to share with you. I trust it's going to bless you, so there's some work for you to do. But I want to tell you, thumbs up, really pays off. You will be blessed. So have a good date, work on these things, and God bless you.